a ban that was passed by 27 men before Arizona was even a state, a time when America was at war over the right to own slaves, a time before women could even vote. Today, we are doing what 23 governors and 55 legislatures refused to do, and I'm so proud to be the ones that got this job done.
It should be a constitutional right in the federal Constitution, a federal right. And it shouldn't matter where in America you live. This isn't about states' rights, it's about women's rights.
I can't stop thinking about my daughters and how they will have a future. And as we continue to go into the future and protect and enshrine the constitutional right to abortion and reproductive freedom, that future generations will not have to live under the restrictions and the interference that we've had to experience.
This is a fight for freedom. This is a fight for freedom. The fundamental freedom to make decisions about one's own body and not have their government tell them what they're supposed to do.
2 years after the historic decision when the United States Supreme Court officially reversed Roe v. Wade, declaring that the constitutional right to abortion, upheld for nearly a half-century, no longer exists, abortion is once again consuming U.S. politics, courts, and political campaigns.
This has been turned against one party and used as a weaponization of the issue is disgusting. I hope people are happy now. And I would encourage them to vote no on any further law that expands abortions in our state.
The question is, could abortion now be the deciding factor in the U.S. elections? Well, most importantly, former President Donald Trump, in a recent and striking interview with the Time magazine, discusses a range of topics crucial to the 2024 presidential election. But his comments and remarks on abortion just might prove to be the most influential. During that interview, Trump was asked about state surveillance of pregnancies and the possibility of prosecuting women who obtain abortions after bans are in place. His response was telling. The former president said it should be left to the states whether to prosecute women for abortions or whether to monitor women's pregnancies. He even declined to comment on the access to the abortion pill, which has been embroiled in an intense legal battle. Interestingly, Trump's anti-abortion stance helped him win in 2016. Trump will forever be known as the president who appointed the justices who had helped overturn Roe v. Wade in June of 2022. But the former president hasn't always been against abortion rights. In 1999, when he was considering a run for the White House, Trump had told NBC's Tim Russert on Meet the Press, and I quote, "I'm very pro-choice. I hate the concept of abortion. I hate it. I hate everything that it stands for. I cringe when people debate the subject, but I still believe in choice." Now that's what Trump had said. But then Donald Trump has also been slammed for his erratic, irrational, and unconstrained remarks. And that's obvious from his remarks above, where he says he's pro-choice and then he says that he can't stand any discussion on anti-abortion. By 2011, the former President Trump had changed his position. Once again, he was considering a run for president. Trump described himself as pro-life while he was speaking to the Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC. Now, in the interview to Time magazine, Trump has responded to questions about how he would handle various abortion questions if elected by repeatedly saying that it should be left up to the states, to which he responded, and I quote, "You don't need a federal ban. Roe v. Wade wasn't about abortion so much as bringing it back to the states. So the states would negotiate the deals. Florida is going to be different from Georgia, and Georgia is going to be different from other places." Meanwhile, Joe Biden, the US president, hopes that his views and stand on abortion will keep him in this White House. The president has made big promises and has held the line against legal challenges as well. Joe Biden's re-election campaign has made a big bet that the outrage and anger over abortion will keep the president in the White House come November.
Let's be real clear. There's one person responsible for this nightmare, and he's acknowledged and he brags about it, Donald Trump.
Abortion is a central campaign issue in 2024 presidential election as Trump seeks a rather cautious stance on this matter, which has become a vulnerability for Republicans and has driven turnouts for the Democrats. Trump's deferring to individual states has also drawn criticism from Democrats as well as conservatives and anti-abortion groups seeking a federal ban. Now, the status of abortion in states across the country has changed constantly, with lawmakers passing measures and courts ruling on challenges to them. Currently, 14 states are enforcing bans on abortion at all stages of pregnancy, with limited exceptions. Most Democratic-led states, meanwhile, have taken steps to preserve or expand access. Although more than 20 states have begun enforcing abortion bans of varying degrees since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022, studies have found that the number of monthly abortions nationally is about the same or perhaps a little higher than it was before the ruling. Trump's controversial remarks and the ensuing public debate underscores the deep divisions within American politics and society over women's autonomy on their body and the role of government in personal health decisions. And as the election approaches, these issues are poised to stir waters and could ultimately influence the outcome in key battleground states.